Check. 1, 2.
Oh, yeah.
Check. 1, 2.
What a day for lacrosse! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Main Event Broadcasting Network. I'm Mario D'Alessandro, joined once again by my partner Nick Pope from Demorest, Georgia, in this damp and dreary day. Nick, say hello to the folks out there, buddy.
What's up, everybody? Hope your day's going better than the weather.
Yeah, not so great. Going to be a little bit of sogginess to this. Luckily, we're on turf and not on grass, so, it's not going to be too soupy. But we have another matchup here between Huntingdon and Piedmont. They met earlier in the season. This was in Huntingdon, Alabama, with the Lions taking a convincing 22-2 lead. 22-2 win, which I don't think we'll see the same here today. I don't think Huntingdon is bad. I don't think Piedmont can hit on all those cylinders, but we'll see how the game goes today. In the circle starting off, we're going to have number 5, Patrick Gladden, a long stick midfielder, going against Chris Pannenbacker. Pannenbacker dominated last time against these Hawks and does again today, as he's going to win the first draw of the day for the Lions, and we'll get it down to Dylan Hampel.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it all starts in that center circle with Pannenbacker, and that's what you love to see. Just a little win in the midfield gets you that first possession. Everyone resets, and we have our first possession here for the Lions.
Yep, 65 to go on the shot clock here. It's going to be Drew Bennett. That was Waters going to go over to Brock, and we're going to have Goff going to go up top today as opposed to his usual play on the right side. Hampel going to take that slot. The ball is going to go to Goff. Goff looks like he wants to shoot. He does, and about to score! Piedmont just 39 seconds into the game, and Chase Goff gives the Lions a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Mario, as you mentioned, we talked pregame a little bit. We talked about how the Lions have started a little slow in their last contest, but not today, as Goff, as you mentioned, just throws it straight off the ground, unable to come up with a save. 1-0 early in this contest.
Yep, and the last game between these two, there was no goals through the first 6:35 of the game. Steve Dan, the goalie for Huntingdon, played a really strong first half of the first quarter, and then the floodgates opened after that. Now Pannenbacker wins another one. Ball's over to Dylan Hampel. He shoots a nice save there by Dan on the stick side. Ball's unable to be picked up, so then Piedmont will get possession. That's another win by Pannenbacker, Nick. 2-0 so far.
2-0. That shot even came in before we could even reset with our offense. Went straight to goal.
Piedmont, like we said, the weather's a little sleepy, but they are not today. Looking very strong here in the early going. Now it's going to be Waters going to give it over to Jared Brock, who's going to swing it down to all-time point leader Brady Jenks. Jenks going to go back to Brock, and he's going to look to dodge. He's going to go to his left. And the ball comes down to Chase Goff. Goff wants another one, and he goes just high over the cage. Brady Jenks chasing on the play with 49 left to go on the shot clock. Ball goes down to Hampel. He's pressured by Jones. Ball's up to Jenks. That's to Goff. Goff going to go right. He's going to give it to Waters. He can really shoot. He's going to do it. And a nice save there by Dan. Stephen Dan coming from behind the cage. He's going to look for Roberts over on the left side, and he goes there. Roberts going to go back to Stephen Dan in the middle of the cage. He has Jones to his right, but instead goes upfield to Foster, which he cannot handle the pass, and we're going to have an odd man break here. Mason Graves coming on the attack. The long pole shoots, and another save by Stephen Dan, doing exactly what he did last time these two played, starting the game very strong. And that ball is going to go over to number 2, Ryan Kemp, in the midfielder. Campion logged a lot of minutes last time these two played, him and Kaiser. You're going to see a lot of those, 2 and 31 at the top of the midfield here for the Hawks. Let's go down. The ball's going to be in Foster's mesh, and he's going to look all the way down there to number 10, Paul Gordon, the attacking, but instead he's going to bring it up here. Play a little pitch and catch with Moulton. Now the ball does go down to Gordon. Gordon on down to Brueggemann. All the way up to Foster, and here comes the dodge. A nice job by Jared Brock to get low. Low man wins there, and Brock able to thwart that dodge attempt by Foster. Now Foster's going to get it down to Campion, who's going to come out to the right-hand side, defended by the short stick midfielder Jonathan Bone. And they have a little bit of switch here. Ben Hamlin at the top of the box and Bone down below. Looks like Huntingdon has Piedmont switched up a little bit. We'll see if they just roll with that, if they try a little switch here. With 15 left to go on the shot clock, it looks like it's going to be Campion dodging from X. Instead gets it all. Foster, 9 seconds left to go. Get a shot. 1 second left, and that is an excellent first possession there by the Piedmont defense. Wonderful, not even a shot on goal for Huntingdon, as Zach Chilada didn't have to be tested on that 80 there. Piedmont gets possession. He's going to go to Jonathan Bone, the sure-handed junior midfielder. He's going to try and beat Campion as he does on the side, and Bone coming up the right-hand side, going to give it down to Avery Jenks. Jenks, the leading point scorer this year for the Lions, going to go to his office behind the cage and looks towards his brother Brady, who's down there, but instead comes back up to Dylan Hample. I said last game he had a little red on his stick and a little flare. It's actually green. I'm just blind. So we're man, none on. Good? It's still big. Oh, we're good now. Okay. The ball's going to be picked up by Ryan Campion. Campion, stick check there by a litany of Lions.
Because it's not picking up on there, it's picking up on.
All right, sorry for the audio that we are experiencing right now, so I'll try and be a little louder for the folks on the broadcast here. We're going to have a man-up opportunity here for Huntingdon. 1-0 to go so far with 10:49 left to go in the first quarter. And the ball is going to come all the way over to those Brueggemann handing off to Foster. Foster going back to Brueggemann. Brueggemann probably the trigger man on the power play. Definitely the one that is the hardest shot here for the Hawks. The ball's going to go over him. Brueggemann looks to shoot, but a nice job by Zach Schramm getting the stick in the lane. Now Foster going to take control. Dishes it over to Campion on the right side. And that is going to effectively end the man-up opportunity as the Lions kill off the first man-up of the game, and the ball is going to be behind the cage for Huntingdon. And the ball's on the ground. It's going to be picked up by Brueggemann, but he's checked from behind by Zach Schramm. Schramm going to bring the ball up, and a nice job to evade the check there as Schramm will bring the ball into the forecourt here. Schramm looking to find him on the outside. Set goes to Jonathan Bone. Bone dodges to the left-handed shot, just to the right of Stephen Dan. A good man-up opportunity for Huntingdon, wasted by the even better man down by the Lions there, as Zach Schramm twice got the stick in the lane of some shooters and was unable to afford the Hawks a shot. So now the ball is going to come up top to Phil Waters. And Waters is going to give it all the way down to Brady Jenks. And now over to Brock and back up to Chase Goff. Now to Waters, and Waters is going to come down the left-hand side. Waters is going to try a lefty shot, and that goes a little bit wide. Brady Jenks with the chase, and 43 left to go in the shot clock.
We go here right now. If we're here versus here.
All right, so we're going to have the ball up top to Chase Goff. Still having some audio issues here, so bear with us for a little bit. Ball over to Goff. Goff going to go over to Brock. He shoots in just over the cage. Dan making it look big so far in the cage, as he's not affording any room to these Lion shooters so far early in the contest. Now Avery Jenks going to go from his office against Jones. Jones a nice save, but he gives it over to Brady, a bounce shot, a weak one at that, but he was tied up really nicely there by number 14, Jacob Gray, the long pole. Now the ball is going to come over to Jones. And Jones going to look to get out of Huntington's end by himself. Nice job avoiding the check. Stumbles over. Oh, I thought he just kind of stumbled over the midline, but they're going to call probably a push on Dylan Hampel. I don't agree with that. I thought Jones was going hard, was pushed a little bit towards the end line, but it was more from his left instead of right in his back, which is typically where you see that call. But anyways, we will have a delayed call here, so Huntington will be going on the man up once Piedmont gains possession. And the ball is going to be started up top with Foster. Over on the left side to Campion. Campion defended nice by Bennett there, and a nice intercept by Zach Chilada. It looks like they had number 3 box coming down the backside there, but Chilada, very active in his cage, which he usually is, was able to intercept that pass and will halt play for now. And it is going to be that push on Dylan Hampel, so a 30-minute call, or 30-second call, going to be a releasable penalty. And Huntington will go on its second man up, only up 1. Oh, I'm sorry, down 1. Up 1 if you're a Piedmont fan, that is. All right, so the possession going to start here. Be on over. Can't get numbers here so far. All right, that's going to be Brueggemann. Going to up top to Kaiser, and just a little too high for him to handle, but no worse for wear. He's going to go over to Foster, who's going down to Moulton. Moulton behind the cage to Gordon. Gordon all the way swinging up to Kaiser. 20 left to go, and that's going to be a ground ball picked up there by the stud freshman from Florida. That's going to be Mac Flanagan bringing into the offensive zone, and it's going to afford Piedmont a chance to exchange personnel here and get the offense on the field. 1-0 to go. Here we are, 7:36 left to go in the first from the rainy Demarest, Georgia, with a little bit of audio issues, so keep hanging with us here. As I'm told, you can hear a little bit of me over the camera here. And the ball is going to go all the way over to Chase Goff. And Goff back up top to Phil Waters, who's going to wait for Hampel to get out of the box, as he does now. And instead, they're going to go to Jared Brock, who's going to have Foster on him. 35 left to go on the shot clock, and Brock is now going to go. He's trying to go left on Foster. Comes nice pass back to Avery Jenks. Jenks going to have a shot and just tickles the cage as it whizzes by. Might have just skimmed the top of the crease there. It took a little bit of a bounce afterwards. 28 left to go on the shot clock. Chase Goff going to have a nice spin move there on Campion. I'm sorry, that was on Kaiser, actually. So 20 left to go on the shot clock as that one went wide. Brady Jenks on over to Jared Brock. Brock coming left again. Foster doing a nice job on Brock at the top. Phil Waters coming right down Main Street. He shoots at a nice shoulder save by Stephen Dan. That's going to reset the shot clock, and that will be a nice chase there by Mikey Jones. Jones, the long pole, typically not up that far beyond the box, but does a nice job to chase the ball down. And Huntington will get possession. So far, 0 for 3 on man up so far. Piedmont 0 for 1, and Huntington 0 for 2. Oh, that was a man up opportunity. My bad. All right, so Huntington's going to have the ball with Campion up top. It's going to be defended by Drew Bennett. Campion looks like he won an interchange with the attackman. I believe that's Gordon down there. It is. He sends Gordon right in front of the cage, and Campion's going to go from X on Bennett. Now the ball's all the way up top to Kaiser. Kaiser has been unsuccessful so far on Bone and now on Waters. Ball's handed off to, and that's right in the middle to Moulton. Moulton with a shot just goes wide. Dangerous little opportunity there for the Hawks. Are hanging tight here. The underdogs here to start the game. 1-0 so far here in the first. And the ball just evades box, but no harm, no foul. 19 left to go on the shot clock. He's defended by Riley Graham. He's going to give it over to Kaiser. 12 left to go on the shot clock. Doesn't look like Huntington has too much pep in their step, and now 7 seconds left to go. Campy's going to take it down the right-hand side. He's going to draw a slide from Graham, and that's a nice job by Riley Graham. Bringing on the slide after Waters took him down deep into the lane. And Phil Waters is going to take the ball, and he's going to give it up to Avery Jenks. Jenks had Dan coming out of the cage, and then he shoots. Stephen Dan just kind of lost his cage, came out to try and aggressively get on Avery Jenks to try and cut down the passing angle, but didn't get back to his cage. And not too many good things happen when a goalie comes out of the circle when the other team has the ball. Whether you're trying to thwart the guy coming from X and force him out one side, it just really never works, and it almost was really costly there for Stephen Dan, who has played well in the early part of this game so far. 1-0 with 4:57 left to go in the first. The ball over to Connor Rogers. Rogers down the right-hand side finds Dylan Hampel right in the middle, and that's 2-0 for the Lions. That is cake, baby. Any kind of cake. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. We're golden. Piedmont up 2.
Mario, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back, buddy.
We fixed the audio. Sorry about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Danielle Percival, the head SID here at Piedmont. Well, College University, I think we're college still. Piedmont College here. Danielle Percival fixing the audio issues. So now I got my guy, Nick Pope, in the box with me and ready to roll. Nick, go ahead, take the face off, man. You earned it.
Yeah, we got Pannenbacker again in the face-off. He's 2-0 so far. This time he's going to win it again, 3-0 now.
Yep, there we go.
Now finds Hampel again.
Yep, he beat he beat Gladden on that one, trying to put the long pole on Pannenbacker, who's 4-0 thus far on faceoffs. And line's going to get, looks like this second line on here. If you want to even call him a second line, I call him a 1A with Rogers, Billy French, and they're going to have the big Mikey Anderson off to the right-hand side. Anderson going to go on camping. He's got a step. Mikey Anderson can shoot, goes down to Brady Jenks instead, and just shoots it wide to Stephen Dan. Is that a busy first quarter so far with a lot of possession going to Piedmont outside of those man-up opportunities for Huntingdon. Ball's going to come up top to French, who's going to find Anderson. Anderson looking to beat, but Campion does a good job on him there. And a nice job and an interception there by Patrick Gladden, the long stick midfielder. He's going to bring it up the field. Gladden is probably going to look to shoot, but instead defers down low, and he's going to find box there. Nice job by Gladden not forcing anything and getting the Hawks a little bit more possession here. As the rain starts to Heaven, that's not a word, Nick. What am I doing? The rain starts to come down a little bit more. That's the word I'm trying to find.
It's coming down from the heavens.
There you go. That's what I was saying. That's it. All right, so it's going to be Camping. He gets a step on Billy French, but French a nice job to get a little trail check and a nice help there by Ben Hanfel on the slide. And now it's going to be Brugman, who normally operates from X or out to the right of the cage, but he can shoot from way up top. He's going to take a shot just as I say that. Goes over the cage. Brugman, like I said, a hard shot, probably the hardest shot on this Huntingdon team.
Yeah, that's a big ask to get that any shot from that range.
Especially on Chulada.
Yeah, by Chulada. Chulada didn't seem that worried, but was still yelling at his defenders in front of him. Doesn't want any shots, anything in towards his net.
Yep. And that's going to be Gordon with the ball down low. He gets a little step on Zach Schramm, and a nice save by Chulada coming out and cut down the angle on a nice job by Paul Gordon, getting a little step on Zach Schramm, a very shorthand defenseman. And now the ball's going to be on the ground as Connor Rogers was converged by two. That was, I believe, Gordon and Brugman, who got on Rogers very quickly after getting the ball from Chulada. So Huntingdon with a fresh 80, only down 2 so far. 2:39 left to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, for the Hawks, they need to keep this close if they're trying to stay in it. Last game, these two matched up against each other. Big challenge nice there by Chulada. Got to get a flag, though. This is a big opportunity for the Hawks to get one back.
Wow, thought that was clean. I thought he really hit him straight from the front. I mean, obviously you can't push in the back, but I thought the big man just laid the lumber. He really just kept his hands in tight, which is important. If you extend your hands, they're going to give you an elbowing, cross-check, anything. I thought that was a clean check by Chulada. Clearly, we're not referees. That's why we're calling the game.
Yeah, I believe they're going to throw another flag as well. There's 2 on the field, I believe.
Might be discussing what they are to call here. Now with Chulada in the box, that means Johnny Matrona is going to man the cage here for 30. And the third man-up opportunity so far, they are 0 for 2, Huntingdon is, on the man-up. I think... Yep, it is going to be a 30-second, and you can hear the Piedmont bench through this. They are pumped up. Chulada after making the big hit. Oh, wait, they are going to be down 2 men. I don't know what the second call was, Nick.
I believe it was a coach.
Oh, okay,
I believe
gotcha.
a coach said something. They threw it towards the bench, like in that area.
Yeah. All right, well, Huntingdon has 2-man-up opportunity down 2. This is very important possession for them. The ball's up top here to Foster. They're going to try and find, that's Box on there, back to Foster. Foster over to Brugman, he can shoot. And instead, nice job by Zach Schramm cutting down the angle. Mac Flanagan now on Foster. Brugman's going to have a shot from up top and just goes wide of Johnny Matrona. And they're going to call possession there to Piedmont as Matrona may have got a little bit further than Box, who I think was right on goal line extending. Johnny Matrona gets just behind that cage. A very important play for Piedmont and a very important play early in this game. A pass there from Drew Bennett. Let's see if he can clear for the Lions, who are still 2 men down. Bennett going to get by Box. And very important to get by Foster here, and Bennett teetling right along the end line and gets it down to Avery Jenks, and that is safe. Piedmont going to effectively kill off this 2-man disadvantage. Early play for the Lions. Big time.
Yeah, great work there by Drew Bennett. Really carried it 80 yards down the field past 4 Hawks.
Yep. And Huntingdon got what they wanted. They want Brueggemann shooting the ball. It was a little bit probably from higher out being 2 men down, but when he shoots the ball, that's the play that they're looking for. It just went to the wide of the cage, and now you're going to see Matrona come off. Gelada will go back on, and Piedmont loses possession there. But the more important thing, they kill that 2-man disadvantage, and we're all not knotted up at 2, but Piedmont still sticking with a 2-0 lead. Now Stephen and Dan going to find Roberts off the left-hand side.
Yeah, quick correction on that penalty as well. It was Brady Jinks. They called him for what was called a conduct foul, 30 seconds.
So he probably said something. All right, but anyway, we had a possession change here, so it looks like Bennett's going to have the ball here for the Lions. They're going to go with the Bennett, Goff, and Jared Brock line. Drew Bennett looking Goff's way and goes there. Goff has a step on Camping, gets a slide now out to Brady Jenks. Brady Jenks comes, shoots, and scores! Piedmont kills off the 2-man disadvantage, immediately goes down and scores. That is a huge shot to the side of the Huntingdon Hawks as Piedmont goes up 3 with just 40 seconds left to go in the first. How it really bites you in the tail if you can't convert on those opportunities like Huntingdon has had so far. You know it's going to usually end up in the back of your cage, and there it does in the person of Brady Jenks. All right, Pannenbacker going to go on Gladden again, trying to put the long pole on him to slow him down, but no such thing is happening as Pannenbacker 5-0, just like he did in the first matchup, really dominating the Hawks with anybody they throw in the center circle. It's been Gladden a couple times, and Kaiser, I believe, has been out there once.
Yeah, that has to be one of the most frustrating things for the Hawks. It's almost like they don't even put someone in the center circle against Pannenbacker. He's just winning them so clean.
Well, Mike Anderson has a step, a bounce shot, and a nice save by Stephen Dan. Dan, the senior goaltender, looking sharp so far, has been beaten 3 times, but has really had a solid outing so far. And there's 5 seconds left to go in the quarter. Dan just going to give it over to Roberts and kill the time there. All right, so that wraps it up for the first quarter. It was a little messy outside with the rain, a little messy here with the audio, but all in all, we have a 3-0 Piedmont lead here on the Main Event Broadcasting Network. We'll be back with second quarter right after this. All right, welcome back to the Main Event Broadcasting Network. I had a couple Lions tell me they'd like to say hello to their mothers. One such, Mac Flanagan. So, Miss Flanagan, if you're looking, your son just points to you down from Florida. Hopefully you're having nicer weather down there. It looks like they're going to do Gladden again on the faceoff. And Patrick Gladden unable to thwart Pannenbacker as he wins his 7th draw in a row. I haven't seen Chris Pannenbacker start this hot. I know he's been hot, but hasn't started this hot yet in USA South play.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not even tossing it to the wings. It's just ripping it himself.
Yeah, clean wins, absolutely. All right, so it looks like we're going to get the Goff Waters Hample line out here to start. I'm sorry, that's Brock, Waters, and Goff. Ball's going to be all the way up top to Jared Brock, and looks like he's going to go. He has a little step on Kaiser to the right, but a nice slide there by Jones. Ball's going to come all the way over to Chase Goff. They're going to try from the right-hand side. Goff looks to shoot. He does, and goes over the cage. 37 left to go on the shot clock. Huntington doing a good job sliding to prevent some clean opportunities there for the Lions to get to the cage.
Yeah, even knocked Goff off balance there. Didn't have much pace on that shot either.
All right, Goff defended by Campion. Tries to get it back. Does to Waters. Over to Brock. A little hot to handle. And a nice stick there by Jones. And they're going to call the ball to Huntington. A nice check there by Mike Jones. It was a little yard sale there from Jared Brock. And now they're coming right down Main Street. Brugman has the ball, and he shoots it just wide. Big man's had a couple opportunities, mostly in the first quarter, one here in the second. Looks like if you give him too many more opportunities like that, he will cash in eventually. Second on the team in scoring right behind Kaiser. Now the ball's down to Gordon, who's going to bring it all the way up top to the aforementioned Kaiser. Kaiser defended by the freshman Mac Flanagan. Now the ball's over to Ryan Campion here, over to the right of the man from Boca, Zach Chilada, man in the cage so far and doing well to this point.
Yeah, Chilada so far, 2 saves, no goals allowed.
Ooh, but there's going to be an opportunity here, and a nice check, but it's going to be in the back. But I'll tell you what, Jonathan Bone had to take that penalty. Gets a check in the back, but Campion had a step on him, and that was essentially to prevent a goal by Jonathan Bone. He got beat, recovered, and the big thing there, you're going to go a man down, but you know what? I'll take that penalty any day because it really prevented a very high opportunity scoring chance for the Hawks.
Yeah, like you mentioned, I'm used to that women's lacrosse. That's the main one I do. I was like, oh, this is going to be a penalty shot. But no, it's not in men's lacrosse.
Yep.
So it does save them the opportunity, man down. But so far, the Lions have been able to handle these man down opportunities.
5 for 5 for the Lions being man down and killing them. And one was a 2-man disadvantage, so 2-man up for Huntington. Let's see what they can do with the 1-man up here situation. It's going to go all the way down to Gordon behind the cage. And then over to Moulton. Going to swing it up top and over here to Foster, and looks like that's where they want to dodge with. Instead, they're going to give it over to Brugman. 5 seconds left to go in the man-up opportunity. And now the ball's over to Foster. Not going to be shot on the man-up, as Piedmont does well to hold their box there, but the ball's going to come all the way down, and a nice save there by Chilada. And it looks like Kaiser's a little worse for wear there in front. Wonder if he got a stick maybe in the midsection or if that shot just kind of hurt him in the abs a little bit. But a nice job there by Mac Flanagan to win this ground ball. Flanagan going to give it down to Chilada.
Chilada every opportunity he gets. He loves making those long passes.
And he's so good at it. Zach Chilada, one of the best goaltending passers I've ever seen. I haven't watched a ton of lacrosse, only about 6-7 years, but a very solid passing goaltender in his own right, as well as keeping the ball out of the cage. Almost probably with the saves today, going to get over that 600 save percentage for the season, which is good for third in the USA South this year. All right, ball's going to come over to Mikey Anderson. Anderson on the left-hand side, going to roll back and give it to Avery Jenks, usually up below the cage. And now to Billy French, a little check to the head, not called there.
That was a high check.
That really was, but no call. We play on here. 25 left to go. Ball out to Avery Jenks and try behind the back again. Avery's done that probably once a game here behind the back, between the legs. He's fancy. Now the ball's going to be up top to Billy French. We got 15 left to go on the shot clock. Lions are going to have to think about going here soon, and Connor Rogers is going to do so. Nice slide there. As the ball's up, 7 seconds left to go. Ball over to Anderson. Mike Anderson's going to have to probably shoot it himself. 3 seconds left to go. He gives it to Billy French. French going to have a shot just wide of the cage. And the ball did not cross the end line before that time expired. Was not given a shot because it did not hit cage. So Huntington with a nice job defensively to win the possession back. Only down 3 with 11:11 left. Ball's going to come over to Roberts, who's going to give it back to Dan. Dan going to look Jones's way and goes there. Mike Jones going to look to get over midfield by himself, and he will. Pressured by Graves. And Mason Graves able to get him out. And it was before he was able to deposit the ball. So nice play by Mason Graves using his boundaries to the advantage.
I believe we have a timeout.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to give a timeout on Huntingdon. Wonder if it was before or after possession was changed. It's going to be very important here. So we'll go to a little break here on the Main Event Broadcasting Network with the score. Your Piedmont Lions up 3-0. All right, welcome back to a soggy Demarest, Georgia today. 10:52 left to go in the half. It is 3-0. Piedmont leads Huntingdon so far. Much different story than the 22-2 score that was in Alabama just 2.5 weeks ago. So a fresh shot clock for the Lions as they're going to bring it all the way down to Brady Jenks below the cage.
Yeah, really interesting here. Avery Jenks has played above the cage a lot more than usual.
Yeah, the Jenks have essentially flopped as Brady normally behind above the cage, but ball's going to go to Waters here. Phil Waters a shot and a nice save by Stephen Dan. Had a little contest there from Brady Jenks in his crease, but is able to get the ball over to Jones, who's going to look all the way to Roberts and goes that way. This Huntington defense done a lot better job today. Oh, and a nice check there by Brady Jenks. Almost able to avert that pass from Roberts going over to Jones. But now Jones has the ball and is able to get away from Avery Jenks. He's going to find all the way up there. Brueggemann, a nice job by catching that ball there. Has a step on Ben Hanflin. Brueggemann with a shot. And he scores! He got behind the back! What a goal from Ryan Brueggemann. Or Ian Brueggemann, sorry. Oh my goodness. Avery Jenks just tried that move about 5 minutes ago, and he was able to pull it off. I know I'm going for the Lions here, but I have to admit, a sick goal when I see it. Ian Brueggemann on a very nice pass by Jones from their own side of the field. Gets it and had a step on Hanflin, who did a nice job to really push him to the outside, but a beautiful use of a behind-the-back shot by Ian Brueggemann. 3-1 now the score.
Yeah, Pannenbacker ripped that one again. But, yeah, as you mentioned, even caught the ball with his offhand, then threw it behind his back.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That's the nicest goal I've seen this year. All right, Avery back down behind the cage now. And he's going to come out from behind. A bounce shot and a nice save by Stephen Dan. That was aided there a little bit there by Jones. And the ball's going to go behind. And then we're going to have a call there. I think Avery's going to get a slashing penalty. He got a little too much of the body on Jones. And Brady looking to get the ball. And he is probably going to go get the ball off of Roberts as he throws it out of bounds. And once again, Huntington goes on the man-up advantage. So kind of opposite today, Nick. Normally Piedmont starts a little slow and then builds up. Kind of the opposite effect having today. They had 2 goals right off the bat, only 1 since.
Yeah, it might be the weather. The weather, we haven't looked as sharp with all of our checks, a lot of penalties early so far. Usually it's kind of quiet until the end of the contest, and then tempers get a little frustrated as teams are winning or losing challenges. Feel like the refs are in control of it, but really it's chippy already early in this contest. Might be the weather, might be frustration with yourself. That, as we mentioned, the strings are a little loose. Passes can go awry.
All right, so we got the ball down here with Gordon. Gordon look all the way over to Box, who's going to give it all the way up top to Kaiser. Kaiser over to Foster. Foster down to Gordon. Gordon want to shoot. Nice step there by Ben Hanflin. Ball's on the ground by Kaiser, pressured by Bone. Now the ball down to Box. 5 seconds left to go in this man-up opportunity. So yet again, we're going to go to 0 for 7 for Huntington on the man-up. The Piedmont man down doing a very good job of not affording really any shots. I don't think I've seen too many shots except for on that 2-man-up advantage for Huntington. If they could really improve their man-up, they should be winning this game so far.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird. They're not even acting like they're a man-up. No real change of intensity or anything. The Hawks are really just taking all their time, man up or not.
Yep. And now Bach's going to have the ball behind the cage. The slide comes from Riley Graham after the check by Bennett. Now the ball to Kaiser. Now the ball behind the cage to Gordon. Gordon going the other way on Ben Hanflin. Oh, that's a moving pick there, and they do end up calling it right before Gordon scores on Chilada. Yeah, it looked like that was Moulton, who came down and had a moving pick there on Hanflin, who was definitely pushing Gordon away from the cage and didn't let him to do that. And that's a little pass by Bone behind. That was Bennett there, and Huntington's going to come up with possession again. Possession numbers definitely been in possession in favor of Huntington, and instead they're going to throw this ball away. Cannot have there that pass from Foster on down to Box. All right, ball now to Chilada. He's going to give it up to Drew Bennett. Bennett comes through to Huntington Hawks there, and is going to swing it on down to Brady Jenks.
Yeah, Bennett took a little shot to the ribs as he did a little swim move between them two.
And they are going to blow it dead now.
Probably one of those stingers you get in the side.
Yeah, wind probably knocked out of Bennett. We'll see. Hopefully it's not a broken rib or nothing like that. But he is not doing well as he's taking his helmet off, and that typically doesn't mean great things. But Drew Bennett going to be attended to by the athletic training staff, and also Zach Chilada, who's going to act as an associate athletic trainer apparently here today. All right, so we'll go to break here for the injury timeout. 3-1 Piedmont leading with 7:35 left to go in the second. All right, Drew Bennett's up and able to get off on his own power. Typically, if you see him swinging both of those arms, that typically means a good sign for no broken ribs. As soon as you have that rib injury, as soon as you bring your arm behind you, it's going to be very, very painful. And the fact that he's able to bump fist there with Roberts there is also a good sign there for Drew Bennett. You'll be seeing him probably back in this game. All right, so Huntington is going to get possession here with a fresh 80 on the shot clock. As the ball is going to go all the way over to Foster, who's going to bring it down the right-hand side of the field for the Huntington Hawks, down 3-1 in this contest. Ball's going to come over now to Campion. Ryan Campion pressured by Nazir Ellerby. Campion has a step on Ellerby, but doesn't let him go to his right hand, which is his favorite side. So he's going to try probably again from X with 54 left to go on the shot clock.
Yeah, about 7.5 left in this quarter as well.
All right, ball's up top now to Kaiser. Kaiser looking to go left on Graves. Not going to let him do that, so the ball is going to go back up to Campion and swing it on over to Gordon. Gordon has a step there on Bone. Gordon looking to shoot, but a nice trail check there by Jonathan Bone to get the ball free of Gordon. 31 left to go on the shot clock, and it looks like Box is going to take the ball in.
And we also have a flag on the field. Not sure what that was for. It was on the defending side of the Lions. Not sure what it was thrown for.
Tell you what, Brady Jenks is going to take a knee. I don't know if he's serving it or if that was another possibly misconduct penalty. If it is, that's 2 such on Brady Jenks.
Yeah, it's a one minute penalty.
Which means it is probably a misconduct penalty. You can't be putting your team in a hole like that if you're Brady Jenks, especially when the ball is down and your defense have been working so hard to try and get it back. That's irresponsible there from Brady Jenks. So Huntington on their 8th man-up advantage. I repeat, 8th. That's not a mistake. The ball is up top. Oh, and a nice fake shot there. And now it's going to come over to Brueggemann, who's going to receive the ball back. Brueggemann over to Kaiser. Kaiser to Foster. Foster down to Gordon. Back up to Foster. Once again, not too much dangerous stuff happening for the Hawks, and they are going to probably lose another man-up opportunity. They're going to be over 9 in this game, and they have had no threat on any of these man-ups. No interchanges, no swinging the ball around and trying reverse field. They just really have no creativity on this man-up opportunity so far. Now Chilada the ball down to Connor Rogers, going to look to escape. Flanagan's going to hold on this side of the field to keep the balance. And Connor Rogers is going to be into the offensive zone and is probably going to try and just kill the rest of this man-down opportunity that the Piedmont Lions were subject to. And now the penalty is done as Piedmont gets their full complement of players on the field. And because I believe that was a unsportsmanlike, we're going to see Brady Maguire in for Brady Jenks. He's going to sit for a little bit. Connor Rogers comes to the middle. He finds all the way over to Billy French and a nice defense there. That was a good stick by Jacob Gray.
Yeah, no change of possession yet either.
Gray still hounding the ball there, and the ball is going to go over to Avery Jenks, who's going to lose it. Still nobody able to get possession of the ball. It's a hot potato out there, even though the rain should cool that potato off, and it does, and now Gordon's able to pick the ball up. That was probably about a good 15 seconds where nobody could get that ground ball.
Yeah, if the Lions got it, they had like 21, I believe, on the shot clock. So,
anyways, a fresh shot clock here for the Hawks with 4:47 left to go in the second quarter. Gordon going to look all the way over to Kaiser. Just a nice job to climb the ladder and get that ball. Kaiser coming to the middle and does a nice job on defense there by Billy French. Ball's going to be up top to Campion. Campion defended nice by Rogers, able to push him to the edge of the box there. So they're going to have to reload here, Huntingdon is, and they throw the ball away. Once again, that wetness is definitely affecting the pockets. We said that ball could sail, and Gordon, who has had some pretty nice possessions and good passing of his own right today, has been an effective player for the Hawks, sails one over the head of Kaiser that time. So Billy French taking it to the offensive zone for the Lions. It's going to come down to Brady Maguire. Maguire taking the ball down behind the cage is going to come up top to Hampel, who's going to give it to Chase Goff. It's a very important matchup here. I did not mention yet, but the winner of this, if it is Piedmont, they will clinch the USA South #1 seed. So very important for them to get the win, and Huntingdon wanting to stay in that top spot so they don't end up facing Piedmont, and that's not going to help as that's Avery Jenks, low to high and zips one over the stick hand side of Stephen Dan. The Lions reclaim the 3-goal advantage. Avery Jenks, Nick was pointing this out earlier, working from up top of the cage, not so much at the X today, maybe giving Huntingdon a little bit of a different look that they did earlier in the season, and it's worked right there.
Yeah, and it's instant. Once Jenks gets the ball, it's instant. You never know when he's going to shoot it. It's just so much creativity. What Avery Jenks has in the creative department, the Huntingdon Hawks are missing in their man-up opportunities.
Yes. Speaking of creativeness, Chris Pannenbacker, should I say it again? Yeah, another win.
Another one.
Another win.
DJ Khaled. Another.
There you go, buddy. All right, Avery in his familiar spot behind the cage now. Pressured a little bit by Roberts. Roberts was on him a lot the last game, and Avery did a much better job than he is today. Oh, a nice job there by a good stick by Jones once again to thwart that pass. Almost got possession for the Hawks, and now the ball is going to be on the ground. Chase Goff able to save it over the end line for the over and back. Two men there for Piedmont, unable to get it, but now a nice job there by Drew Bennett as he's able to help take the body there and win the ball for Chase Goff. Jared Brock going to go up to Goff and over to Bennett.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that's going to be Waters. Yep, sorry. Waters a nice job of defending, getting in his kitchen there by Jones. And on over to Brock. Brock going to go to his right this time. Swings back to his left. A nice spin move, but unable to get some daylight. The ball is going to up top with 22 seconds to go for Waters. Phil Waters going to probably try and go on Fitzgerald here. And instead throws the ball away. Was trying to find Avery in the middle of the box there, but instead that's going to be picked up by Ryan Campion on the back end. Campion going to have numbers here unless Brock can catch up, and he does. Jared Brock with a stick check there, able to get the ball on the ground, but Campion, a good job of staying with it, is able to get possession there for the Hawks. And a timeout being called there by Huntingdon. There's a little bit of confusion with a couple members coming on the field and a little bit of hecticity. I think that's a word. If not, I just made it up. A little hectic play there. And anyways, timeout for Huntingdon. Going to be 65 on their shot clock. 2:20 left to go in the game. And we'll be right back on the main event broadcasting network with Piedmont leading 4-1.
We got a show.
All right, welcome back to the Main Event Broadcasting Network. We checked on it. Hecticity is a word if you believe Urban Dictionary. If you don't, I screwed up.
Hecticity. It is the state of being hectic. So he used it in the right way.
Ninja dust.
It's just, Urban Dictionary. We'll just leave it there.
I'm buying it. All right, anyways, Huntingdon going to get possession and immediately throw it away coming out of the break. That's odd to see a pass that early in the possession right after a timeout go that wayward. But once again, the rain probably have an effect as Kaiser threw it away trying to find Gordon down low.
Yeah, Drew Bennett's back in. Good to see there with the ball.
There we go, Drew Bennett. Handed off to Brady Jenks, and now a timeout going to go Piedmont's way as Tim Dunton wants to talk things over with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. And we're not going to go to break. We're going to give you guys a couple stats here right before the half. We got a couple interesting notes for your Lions. Sorry for all you Huntingdon fans. I don't have as much information on you guys as I do Piedmont. But like I said, with this being a very important matchup, Piedmont having to win to get the number 1 seed here in the USA South, it's not totally important. You just don't want. I mean, both of these teams have fared very well against LaGrange and Brevard so far this season. So I imagine this is probably going to be the championship match, with Piedmont being the overwhelming favorite so far, as they've handled everybody with convincing fashion, except for today's game, which is a close contest. And this is more of what I thought we would see in the first matchup. But a couple things. Brady Jenks extending his all-time point lead now at 157 all-time, and his goal lead to 134. But, right behind is Avery Jenks and Chase Goff. They are chasing up that ladder, and both could be top 5 goal scorers by the end of this contest. Point scorers, if they can each pick up 8 points and 9 respectively today. Now, a little slower than they normally are, picking up usually about 5 or 6 a game. But Huntington's defense done a very good job so far with Gray, Roberts, and Jones so far today on that trio.
Yeah, Dan as well also has 8 saves in the back. Really proving his worth back there, only allowing 4 goals so far. Now gets another save. Nice
save there by Dennis. It was a great pass from Avery down to Brady backdoor. Yard sale now as Jones had it knocked out of his hands, and looks like he is feeling that on his wrist a little bit.
Yeah, knocked his glove off as well.
Yeah, Mike Jones was trying to get that ball out of the Sea of Lions there, and not to be confused with Sea Lions, but he was unable to get so, as there was a bunch of sticks coming right under his wrist, right under the hands. A little bit of a yard sale there from Mike Jones, and Piedmont's going to get that possession. Hopefully the young man's arm is good there, as he's been playing very well today and really shutting down Avery Jenks up until just recently. Ball is going to come all the way down here to Brady behind the cage. They're working with Avery up top again, Brady down below, and they're going to find Avery. Avery's going to shoot, and a nice save off stick side by Stephen Dan with his waist there. Ball's on the ground. That's another yard sale, another hawk stick on the ground, and that was Gray that time. And now possession gain, and you can't take these timeouts into half with you, so Tim Dunton going to call another one with 1:18 left to go in the game. I stink at math is 74 and 1:18. Can they run this clock out here with the last possession?
That'll be 4 seconds left.
4 seconds left. Okay. So Dunton wanting to see if he can get this clock run down all the way to the end, possibly get a goal here, not afford Huntingdon any more possession. And right now we will go to break this time. It's going to be Piedmont leading 4-1 with 1:18 left to go on the Main Event Broadcasting Network.
Welcome back to the Main Event Broadcasting Network here as we have the Huntingdon Hawks facing our Piedmont College Lions. Our Lions are up 4-1 here in this second quarter. About a minute left, and as we mentioned, it's raining cats and birds. Not the normal cats and dogs out here, but the Hawks and Lions are coming down as the Lions now have possession.
Yep, that's going to be Avery Jenks getting a step. He shoots off stick side once again to Stephen Dan. I think he's found something over there that Avery likes so far today, but just goes wide of the cage. Ball's going to be to Brady behind, finding Hampel, now up, and does go to Waters. Waters can shoot from there. Instead, goes up top to Chase Goff. Couple shooters up on the edge for the midfielders for the Lions. Waters is such, going to go to the left. Nice defense there and gets it off to Avery Jenks. Jenks looking over to Chase Goff. Goff down to Brock. Brock's going to shoot, and I think that was going to go in, but Roberts gets the ball in front. Avery Jenks on the ground, and he scores! Avery Jenks with a ground ball with only 37 seconds left to go. The timeout for Tim Dutton's squad helps, and Piedmont goes up 4. I don't know if that's Avery's second or third of the game. Oh, it is his second, I'm being told. The young man has had hat tricks in all but 2 of the games so far this season, is on his way to a third. But a very important goal there to put Piedmont up 4 with only 37 seconds left to go. We'll see if Panenbacker can't get one of these quick draws here and give the Lions another opportunity.
Yeah, that first save, not sure if that was Dan or one of the defenders that took it off the chest.
I thought Roberts did, but I wasn't sure. And Panenbacker going to have a shot himself. Oh, a nice job. And that's why you put a long stick midfielder on Panenbacker. It's a nice job by Gladden to get the ball off of Chris Panenbacker, who had a step. If you can't beat him, that's the way you're going to have to slow Panenbacker down. A very good strategy, a very good execution there by Patrick Gladden on Panenbacker. 15 seconds left to go in the quarter. Let's see if Huntington can cut into this 4-goal lead here. It's going to be Campion coming down Main Street. Campion's going to have a step, but a nice check there by Mac Flanagan on the hands. 5 seconds left to go. Flanagan's going to bring it over to the end line. He's going to try and get it up to Bennett. Not going to have a chance, but a nice job by Flanagan to not let Ryan Campion get that shot off, as he had a little bit of daylight in front of the goaltender, Zach Chilada. So we're going to go into half here. It is coming down hard. These teams are going to go to their respective corners. I'm going to go into a dry place inside as we have Piedmont leading the Huntingdon Hawks on a score of 5-1 here from the Main Event Broadcasting Network. Hi, welcome back to the Main Event Broadcasting Network. I'm solo in the booth right now. My man Nick Pope had to use the little boy's room, so he'll be down eventually, but just going to go over some first half stats here. The score 5-1, Piedmont outscoring Huntingdon 3-0 in the first and 2-1 in the second. Really the big story of the game so far is the man-up opportunities. 0 for 7 is Huntingdon. Piedmont yet to have one so far. And the face-offs, Huntingdon down 0 for 8 so far with a combination of that was Gladden and 1 for Kaiser so far in the game. So far, 2 goals by Avery Jenks, 1 by Goff, 1 by Brady, 1 by Dylan Hampel, and the goal for Huntingdon, the lone one by Ian Brueggemann. Now, it is going to be Gladden and Pannenbacker starting off in the circle again. Gladden, that nice job on the last possession when Pannenbacker wanted to win it off him with that beautiful stick check. It's going to be Pannenbacker win it again, and this time goes backwards away from Gladden. And let's see if he's able to get the ball. And Gladden once again. That's exactly what Huntingdon needs to do. He gets the ball off of Pannenbacker, who's unable to find one of his wingers. And it's going to be the goal scorer, Brueggemann. That's going to take the ball for the Hawks. To start the second quarter play here in USA South action, winner takes top spot in the USA South. And once again, if it is, Piedmont takes sole possession over number 1 overall for the tournament upcoming. All right, ball's going to be swung all the way over to Moulton. Moulton on down to Brueggemann. The interchange there, and a nice check there by Ben Hanflin. Able to knock him off his course a little bit, and Brueggemann going to go all the way down to Gordon. Gordon coming out left, trying to roll back around. Zach Schramm doesn't let him do it, and a weak backhand shot there past Gelada. Riley Graham unable to get there ahead of box. And 35 left to go. Not a shot clock reset on that one. As the ball is going to come up top to Campion. Campion and Bennett going to battle again. And Campion has a little bit of a step on him. But a good job and a good angle taken there by Drew Bennett to cut off Campion from getting too much of an opportunity. And the ball's on the ground now. And Jonathan Bone going to look for it, and he is able to get it. Oh, and now a nice check there by Gordon to get the ball there for Moulton. 11 on the shot clock. Hawks are going to have to go quick as possession was not gained fully by the Lions. 6 left to go, and I don't know what they are going to call there on Mac Flanagan. As Kaiser basically slips, and they're going to call a cross-check. That is a load of crap. I am sorry. Mac Flanagan essentially lets Kaiser fall, stick checks him to try and win the ball away, and gets called for a penalty. I don't know if the refs are totally one-sided here today, but that's the 8th call on Piedmont. Not a single one yet for the Lions. You know what? No worse for wear. We're up 5-1. We'll kill it again, says the Lions, as they're getting hyped up as the rain intensifies here at the Walker Athletic Complex, and Huntington's going to take the ball. Going to get all the way down to Gordon behind the cage. Huntington needs a score on one of these man-up opportunities if they're going to get back in this game, and that's not how you do it as the ball's on the ground, and Graves going to take it and unable to save it from the end line. Going to be about 11 seconds left to go in this man-up opportunity as Box going to get the ball to Brueggemann. Brueggemann, the trigger man, going to take it down to the box. He's going to give it over to Foster. Foster, almost a nice pass there in to Kaiser, but just unable to find him in the box. And the story so far is the man-up opportunity going to be killed off by the Lions.
Yeah, 8 minutes so far of penalty time against the Lions. None of those have resulted in goals, but even looking forward for the Lions, that's too many penalties to be given up in a contest.
Absolutely. A couple have been ticky-tacky, but they have had a few, actually more than their fair share, have been definitely warranted by the officials so far. So now the man-up opportunity is officially over there in a second, and now Piedmont is going to get their full complement of midfielders on to go with this attack, with both the Jenks brothers and Hampel.
Waters and
it's going to be Waters, Brock, and Goff. And the ball is going to come all the way over to Dylan Hampel on the right-hand side to Avery Jenks, opposite of where his normal X spot is. Ball's going to come down to Brock. Brock down below to Goff. 2 men behind the cage. Brock unable to handle it there, but gets the ground ball.
You can really see the weather.
Ball up top.
Affecting these passes and catches.
Yeah, it is, absolutely, as we said early in the game. Now ball over to Brock. He's going to shoot, and a goal! A little change up there from Jared Brock. It looked like it dipped down a little bit. I think somebody got a deflection on it, and Jared Brock has his first of the contest and puts the Lions up 5 after defending yet another man-up opportunity. The Lions have, no pun intended, have been weathering the storm on the man-ups and have usually been immediately cashing in afterwards, as 3 such goals have come within a minute to 2 minutes after those man-ups have been failed by Huntingdon. If these two teams are to meet again, Huntington's going to have to get this man up a little bit better if they want to have any shot against the Lions. And now with another win by Pannenbacker. Unable to thwart him that time was Gladden in the circle, so Pannenbacker learns from the last 2 interchanges.
Yeah, that time he used his wing for, I think, the first time today, actually tossing it back. Maybe learn from those last 2 that he got stripped later on.
Yep. All right, the Anderson, Rogers, and that's Jacob Walker on now. And Walker's going to give the ball back to Avery Jenks. Avery on over to Rogers. Rogers going to find a little daylight. He's going to shoot, and a nice save by Stephen Dan, and the flag is down. And we are going to get the first man-up opportunity today for the Lions as there's a slash being called. I believe it's on Gladden.
There's 2 flags down, but it might be the same call.
And that's actually not going to be Gladden. That's going to be number 12, Colin Sloan. So as the rain's starting to come down a little bit harder, Piedmont will get their first man-up opportunity, which they have been very prolific in the USA South, lurking at almost a 50% clip. As the ball is going to be swung around by the Lions. All the way up here to Waters. Waters down to Hampel. Hampel down to Anderson, down to Avery Jenks. Avery looking up top to Waters. He shoots, and you're not going to stop that laser beam from 20 feet out by Waters. Avery Jenks right up to Waters. He'll get an assist, and Phil Waters looks to throw the ball through the back of the cage every time he tries, and that one's good for 7-1 by the Lions.
Yeah, as you mentioned, there's so much more intensity, so much more. It almost looks like passion on those man-up opportunities. Yeah. The Lions just create all these opportunities, passing it around, making the keeper turn in circles, gets him disoriented. Then Waters is able to just throw it to the back of the net for his 9th goal of the season. And
a big thing, they work their power play from a little bit in tighter than Huntingdon does, and I think that has a testament to do with the athleticism of those Piedmont defenders. And now Pannenbacker going to take one. He shoots, and a nice save by Stephen Dan. Now Chris Pannenbacker going to change off, and he's going to exchange with Jonathan Bone as the Hawks will take control here with Robertson. He's checked by Avery Jenks. Going to be a ground ball here. Let's see. Lowman's probably going to win, and it looks like Robert's going to duel with Avery Jenks. A nice fight there for the ball. It looks like Robert's going to probably get a penalty there as he tramples over Brady Jenks. Instead, they don't call it. I don't know how, as Roberts basically had his stick right up in the chin of Brady Jenks as he was coming in to defend his brother Avery, and I think that's the first example I'll see as the refs not calling something finally, and the ball is going to go over to the man Roberts. He's going to find his man in the middle, and that's going to be Campion.
Yeah, Brady Jenks does very well there. Already has 2 penalties on him for conduct. Did very well not to get his tempers up, you could say.
Absolutely.
No retaliation. We mentioned that in our previous contest, that gets called every time.
Yeah.
So the leadership thrown there from the older Jinx.
Yep. Speaking of leadership, the junior defender, Ben Hamlin, doing a nice job on Brugman. Probably going to get a tripping call there, or they're just going to say they tripped over each other there. Brugman, a nice job to ward off Ben Hamlin, who was all up in his kitchen there. And he gets the ball all the way over to Strickland. Strickland, the freshman, going to go down behind the cage to Anders. And now the ball is coming up top to Campion. Campion going to interchange there. A moving pick, and they are going to call that there. Paul Gordon got caught with his hand in the cookie jar there on that moving pick as he tried to interchange with Paul Gordon. And it looks like there's going to be a flag call on somebody, but the Avery Jenks going to have the ball and scores! Throw your hats down, get them wet today as Avery Jenks. Great day for Hay and gets his 3rd goal of the game.
Avery Jenks now has a full house, you could say in poker terms. 3 goals and 2 assists.
And Piedmont very good on that defensive possession. Really push Huntingdon to the edge, and not even just the box there, which is typically what you're trying to attack inside. They had them basically on at midfield and all the way towards the out-of-bounds lines on the side of the field, and really did a very good job once they got the ball to rush it downfield. Has been historically a very good team in transition, as we saw last game, especially against LaGrange. Pannenbacker winning this one forward this time. Gladden trying to use that long stick to his advantage, but a nice job by Pannenbacker realizing once again the long poles were on and gets the ball off to Ellerby. But Ellerby, a nice check there by Jones. He has done a very good job with stick work today, Mike Jones has. able to win the ball back for the Hawks. And now Kaiser going to have the ball back to Dan, who's going to bring the end line up here, as he's going to find Foster, the midfielder. And Foster going to get over to settle it down with 8:51 left to go in the third here. Game starting to get away from the Hawks here a little bit, 8-1, as they're going to need a goal here soon on one of these possessions to get back in this contest. And it looks like Ellerby is going to have a nice check there. Oh, and that was on Kaiser, and a nice hit there. Oh, Foster laid the lumber on Schramm, who does not appear to appreciate it, but the ball's down to Avery Jenks. He shoots and scores. Huntingdon more concerned with trying to hit the Lions and defend them. And there is number 9 for Piedmont, as Huntingdon is totally losing their composure, as Piedmont is beating them not physically, but on the scoreboard. 8 goals for the Lions and 4 over the last 3 minutes. The energy from the Piedmont bench, you can really feel it through the camera on the other side of these microphones here, as it's being a physical game. Typically when the rain comes out and the weather is worse, that's something you expect, but with that physical play, they have to make sure that Huntingdon keeps possession and composure. They're hitting and really not going for the ball, and you're seeing what it's doing with this more veteran Piedmont squad as they're able to really capitalize on these opportunities. All right, ball behind now to Avery Jenks with 4 goals to his name. Going to give it over to Hampel, who's going to push off Bennett and going to allow him to change. And now it's going to be looks like it is going to be Walker, Rogers, and Mikey Anderson on for the Lions. Calm the 1B line. Going to swing it around up top, and Mikey Anderson, the big man, is going to have a nice swim, but a nice job by Campion to get back defensively. Ball's down now to Brady Jenks. Just a nice job on him by Roberts. Ball up top, and a shot by Rogers just wide of Stephen Dan.
And as you mentioned, there's so much tension built in this field and in this contest now, as the Lions have really just created so much energy from that bench. And now it's Walker with a shot underneath. Might have been a Meg as well.
Oh, what a move by Jacob Walker. Dipsy-do, he swum 3 separate times on that dodge there to get some open spot right in front of Stephen Dan. And the goaltender really had no choice, as Walker goes high to low, bounces one through the wickets of Dan, and now we have what is called a blowout. 10-1 Piedmont in the lead, as they have really taken it to the Huntingdon Hawks here in the second half.
Yeah, this might have been what happened as well in that first contest. The first contest between these two was 22-2. This one looked like it was going to be close throughout, but now it's really starting to fall apart for the Hawks. And it's really these chippy plays, and obviously Pannenbacker just doing what he does best.
Who just goes over the cage with that shot. You'd love to see Chris cash in on one of those opportunities, as now he's beaten Gladden cleanly on the last 2, using his wingers sometimes, but that's the first time we've seen him get actually fully past Gladden, who has done a nice job really as of late after he loses those draws to not let Pannenbacker get such clean looks like he did there. All right, the ball is going to come up top to Waters and on over to Goffnier. The 1A line now with Goff coming down the left-hand side, finding all the way across to Brady Maguire, but unable to handle that pass. Would have had an open look back door if he had got that biscuit from Goff. And now Ian Parr in for the first time today, and he shoots just wide of Dan on the stick side. Hampel was chasing on the backhand side, so he's going to win possession with 45 left to go in the shot clock and 6:56 left to go in the game. Ball coming over to Goff, and now up top to Waters. Waters over to Brock. Jared Brock coming on the left-hand side. He's going to come to the middle. He likes the left-hand side, and he's going to shoot and does not avoid the cage, as he was pushed a little bit into it. I think they are. Yep, they do call that push on Brock. He made a nice dodge to the cage there as he had beat 2 Hawks. And the third man, which I believe was number 5, Gladden, on the push. If it's not, yeah, it is going to be Gladden on the push there. Had to take that call there, as Gladden was using with a short stick that time instead of his long pole. As Brock had pretty much a free opportunity, a lot like the Jonathan Bone penalty early in the game. You got to take that penalty or else Brock's going to score. So good penalty taken by Gladden. All right, Piedmont 1 for 1 on the man-up opportunity. See if they can do with it here. Hampel going to have a shot, and that's a nice stick check there by number 14, Jacob Gray. Got right in on the hands of Hampel. Now Avery Jenks going to take the ball from behind the cage. Going to look over to Mikey Anderson. Goes that way. Anderson comes to Hampel. Over to Goff. Down inside to Brady Jenks. A shot and a goal! Brady Jenks making it a 10-goal lead for the Lions, who are stampeding now over the Hawks and lead by 10. Brady Jenks with his second of the game.
Yeah, as Luke Combs would say, when it rains, it pours. And in this weather, the goals are pouring in. Lions have now scored, I think it's 7 actually. I believe it's 7 this quarter.
Well, we went in at 5. We're at 11 now, so
6.
my partner's a little mistaken at 6.
I thought it was 4.
You're not a math major. Don't worry about it, buddy.
Hey, man, you didn't know how to do... You didn't know how many seconds were left.
I said hecticity.
Yeah, that's also Urban Dictionary.
All right, ball's going to be down below here. It's going to be Maguire handing it off to Ian Parr, and Parr on over to Hampel. Finger swing up top to Walker, and now to French. And French going to find Connor Rogers over on the right-hand side. Just about 3 hours away from Augusta we are, where the Masters is going on. Hopefully they're having a little bit better weather down there. Ball's going to be up top to French. And now it's going to be a rebound. Nice job by Dan to react to that rebound that Dylan Hampel was able to pick up off the ground off the Billy French shot. And now it's going to be worked down to Brady Maguire. Maguire up top to Billy French, who's going to have another shot and a save by Dan. Popped it up in the air and now is able to corral it down in his circle there.
That's his 15th save.
Man, he's had a lot of work, especially as of late. Oh, Dan going a little high. Jones going to try and save it from the end line, is unable to. Dan giving a little high to Mike Jones, and that's going to be a new possession for the Lions. And it looks like Huntingdon is going to call a timeout there as they kind of realize that Piedmont was going to have a little bit of numbers with everybody kind of going upfield. The midfielders had almost crossed midfield there for Huntingdon. So we're going to take a timeout here. 11-1 Piedmont leads with 5:10 left to go here on the Main Event Broadcasting Network. All right, welcome back to the Main Event Broadcasting Network. Mario D'Alessandro joined along by Nick Pope here in a rainy Demarest, Georgia. So far today we have Avery Jenks with 4 goals here, the leader in the clubhouse, just like Justin Rose here at the Masters. 8 under for those of you also trying to keep track of both back home. Now we're going to have Jacob Walker here with a goal himself already today, handing it off to Billy French. French going to have another shot and just goes high. French had 3 shots on this past possession, really looking to tickle twine here. Now Brady Maguire going to take it from behind the cage. Brady Maguire, the USA South Freshman of the Week last week for his game against LaGrange. Now the ball is going to go down to Rogers. Oh, and a nice play there by the defender. That's going to be number 21, Steffi. Steffi, a nice job to get in the lane, but instead the ball is going to come to Ian Parr, who picks it up. The freshman going to give it over to Rogers with a fresh new shot clock as possession was gained by Huntingdon. Now ball's going to be worked up top to French. French over to Walker. Jay Walker going to come down the right-hand side. Going to give it over to French. French going to have another shot and just goes wide. Well, you will never score if you don't shoot the ball, and Billy French has taken that opportunity. Has had 4 shots thus far. Can't find the goal yet. And that's a little errant pass handful. Ground ball is going to be, a nice check there. Maybe a collision by French and Sloan. And now Ian Parr's going to take it with the cage empty. Ian Parr shoots and scores. Stephen Dan came back from behind the cage, tried to refine his net, was unable to centralize in the cage, was off just a little to the left-hand side. Ian Parr with a yawning frame, able to deposit the 12th goal for the Lions.
Yeah, Dan there really didn't have his whereabouts, as you mentioned. Really ran almost to the side of the goal. Parr threw in a fake that he didn't even need, as the goal was mainly wide open. We have a new face-off man for the Lions. Pannenbacker might be hanging it up.
Yeah,
as Kip will now be joining the center circle.
I think 14-0. I think that's good enough for the day. And Kip is going to lose his first one to Gladden. Actually, now it's going to come up to the wingman. It's going to be Gladden that's going to pick up the draw. So Gladden wins his first face-off of the day over Kip, the second man in the circle for the Lions.
Yeah, still with that long pole, though.
Yep. He can go both. I've seen him use the short pole as well, but he's very effective with that long pole, especially if losing draws. Now it looks like Kaiser's going to take it over on the right-hand side as the rain. Oh, look at Zach Chilada being athletic. Who says you can't be 220 and move like that? Oh, and Chilada throws it just a little bit high, but Brady Maguire, good job to pick up the change. Ball over to Hanfel. Hanfel's going to pine Parr. Parr's going to pull it out. He's going to find backdoor. That's going to be Flanagan. Mac Flanagan shoots and scores! The long stick midfielder is able to get the goal and does not fall into the crease. Mac Flanagan shouting on his mom earlier and scores one for. There's a nice assist by Ian Parr. That's his first of the campaign and first as a Piedmont Lion. And that play all started with Zach Chilada coming an easy 10 to 15 yards out of his cage to intercept that pass by Kaiser, which is going to be an easy pass down to Gordon behind the cage. Zach Chilada showing incredible athleticism, not just for a man his size, but for anybody to get the interception, start the possession for the Lions there. Now Pannenbacker back in the circle, and do you want to guess what he did? He won it.
Yeah, we can just...
Shocker.
Let's just, skip into the play.
Yeah, you're right. I feel bad for Mike Gladden, I'm sorry, not Mike Gladden. Patrick Gladden, because he's done a good job to try and contain him, but just no match. And there's another nice play there by Jones. Jones had a great stick all day, but a nice pressure there by Hampel, and does a good job to get it over to Dan. And Dan, is intercepted by Brady Maguire. Ball out to Parr. He dips and dodges. Probably could have had a shot at an empty cage there, but instead just takes it out. And now the ball goes to Hampel. Little hecticity there, Nick, with that play. And now we're going to get it settled down to Waters. Urban Dictionary says it's a word. I don't want to hear it. All right, so now it's going to be up top to Chase Goff, who's going to welcome on Josh Fraley to the game. It's going to get back to Goff, and now to Waters. Rain kind of lightening up here a little bit. Still coming down a fair amount, though, as Fraley's going to come down the right-hand side. And Campe makes him roll back, gives it to Parr. Parr's going to have a step in the middle. He's going to dip it down to Maguire. Maguire goes all the way off to Waters. Waters going to think about shooting, but instead loses the ball up, and that's going to be a ground ball picked up by Mike Jones. Jones going to try and get by Goff, and he does. Goff unable to push him out. Nice job by Jones to understand where the end line is there. And Jones shoves him off and gets the ball over to Bach. And Bach's unable to get the ball, and Chilada looks like he's going to pick up the ground ball in his crease. And a nice job there by coming out once again by Zach Chilada. Very successful one. He's exited his crease today to be aggressive and wins the ball back there for the Lions. The ball comes down to Goff, and Mike Jones trying to get back to the play. Kind of tired, so we have a break here. Dylan Hampel going to shoot, and just wide of the cage. And Stephen Dan with a nice chase to win possession for the Hawks. Nobody down at X there, as that possession was really just coming about. So Stephen Dan, the first one to get behind the cage and win possession. All right, Jones has the ball once again. The big man's had a lot of possession here over the past little bit. Hampel gives him a little rough ride. As you can tell, Mikey Jones needs a little bit of a long offensive possession by the Hawks here to catch his breath, as the young man has worked hard today.
Yeah, he is gassed.
He is gassed.
He's a little off frame here, but he is just sitting on the ground, basically.
He deserves it. He deserves it. And the ball there, Ben Hanflin able to work it away from Brueggemann there. Hanflin looking in the middle to Nazir Ellerby, the junior midfielder, going to bring it up. And Ellerby looking for Graves. He goes there. Will Graves have a shot? He goes to Bone. Jonathan Bone, a shot! And a nice save by Stephen Dan. Don't be fooled there. Maybe a 13 on the scoreboard for the Lions. Stephen Dan has not played a poor game. He's had a lot of rubber thrown at him today.
Yeah, 17 saves.
That's going to be good for about at least a 60 save percentage, a 600 save percentage, which is definitely what you want to see out of your goaltender. All right, the roll back there by Walker. 57 to go on the shot clock. Irrelevant because 20s left to go on the game clock. We have Rogers going to have a shot, but a nice trail check there by I believe that was 31, Tyler Kaiser. 15 left to go on the clock. It's going to be Brady Maguire from X. Bringing it out top to Billy French. They're going to have to go quick, and French is going to swing it around Strickland. French going to have a left-handed shot, and a nice save once again by Stephen Dan. 5 seconds left to go, and Stephen Dan will just run the clock out here in the third quarter. In one that was dominated by the Piedmont Lions, and your score is going to be 13-1 here at the end of the third, going into the fourth quarter of this USA South matchup between the Piedmont Lions and the Huntingdon Hawks. We'll be back with fourth quarter action right after this. All right, welcome back to the Main Event Broadcasting Network here. A little stat here by Nick Pope here.
Yeah, we're looking at the live stats and everything. We got the Huntingdon Hawks really need to create more opportunities. They have 9 total shots, only 4 on goal, and we were mentioning none of those shots have really come on their power play opportunities, their man-up opportunities, and that's the opposite for the Lions. Every power play they get a good shot on goal. Most of them are conversions into goals, as they have 52 shots overall and 31 goals. 31 goals. Wow.
31 shots on goal.
31 shots on goal.
There you go.
Making Dan's job in the back. Stephen Dan, that goalkeeper, really doing a lot in the back. Has 17 saves in this contest.
Yep.
Our senior 5th-year goalkeeper here for the Lions only has 3 saves with 1 goal allowed. So really for the Hawks, it doesn't look as far out as it is, even though the scoreline really fell apart in that third quarter with an 8-0 run.
Yep.
But it didn't look bad overall, but there's just no opportunities for the Hawks, not converting any of these power plays or any of their possessions into real opportunities.
And on cue there, Nick, there's an opportunity to possibly get an offensive possession, but Gray throws it just wide of Brueggemann. And the sloppiness has really come on here for the Hawks, as they were really clean in the first and really the second quarters. It was only a 5-1 game. They've just kind of fell apart whenever the tensions rose and the stakes really were much higher, because it looked like Huntingdon could make this close. And anytime you're an underdog late in the game, it's really dangerous if you're the team that's the favorite. And Huntingdon was looking to do that, but just kind of fell apart there in the third quarter. So anywho, we got 56 left to go on the shot clock and 14:07 left to go in this game here. As Piedmont will start here with Jared Brock, Waters, and Josh Fraley on the right-hand side. Brock going to get a little bit of room there as he runs right through his man. That's going to be Sloan. Ball over to Fraley and just goes wide of Dan. And Ian Parr, Ian Parr, well, he started further back than Dan, but apparently didn't get back as far as Dan. So Stephen Dan, a nice job to hustle and win possession there for the Hawks, as they're going to come up in the person of Ryan Campion. Been very busy all day. The midfielder playing both ends, defensively and offensively as a midfielder. Not too many of the Piedmont midfielders will do that, as they have, as you can see on the broadcast, a much deeper bench than the Huntingdon Hawks.
Yeah, also worth noting and worth mentioning, really that third quarter there, the Lions really limited their own their own penalties and flags against them. That second quarter was plagued by flags, as this shot goes a little wide. Huntingdon will retain possession, but once those man-up opportunities for the Hawks, even though they were unable to convert them, the Lions they just gave up so much possession during that second quarter, which ultimately led them to not creating many opportunities to score.
Yep. So the ball is going to be over to Brueggemann now, defended by Riley Graham. Ball up top to Campion. He's going to interchange there with Molson. And now he's going to have a shot and a save there by Chaletta, and does a nice job to get on that ground ball. And I don't know what that call is. Anyways, Piedmont's going to get the ball. I wish I'm going to learn these calls for next season. I swear, folks. But anyways, Gelada with a nice save, and possession's going to come to Josh Fraley now. He's going to have a nice spin move away there from Molden. He's going to give it off to Jared Brock. On over to Brady Jenks. Jenks with 2 goals today, looking for a hat trick possibly in this last frame here. Gives the ball behind to Avery Jenks, who just can't find Ian Parr, but a nice job of Mikey Anderson to save the ball from going out. That was just fortunate. He was just coming off the box there. So the ball is going to be up top to French and on over to Anderson. He'll be flanked on the other side by Jacob Walker. Mike Anderson going to cut to the middle. He deposits off to Billy French. Can't control the ball, and that's going to be on the ground. And Kaiser looking to pick it up, but instead Walker's going to pick up the ground ball. 30 seconds left to go in the shot clock. Anderson going to go over to Walker, switches with French. Anderson going to the right-hand side, past Kaiser, and now it's going to be picked up there by Gray. Now the ball is going to come all the way up top to Anderson. Good job of defending this time by Huntingdon on this possession. 15 left to go on the shot clock. Jones hard on the stick there by Anderson, but he rolls away. 7 left to go on the shot clock, and that's going to be away from the Lions. Zach Schramm saves from coming over the line, but with 2 seconds left to go, French going to have to shoot it, and instead throws it all the way down the field. And that's where Huntingdon will get possession. So nice defense that time by the Hawks. Lions really unable to find any dangerous possessions there, and they will take over. Down 13-1 with 11:33 to go. And a nice crafty little play there by Kaiser to throw it down on the ground. And if it wasn't rain, he probably would have picked it up, but then ran into Big Ben Hanflin, and he is worse for wear there. I don't think Hanflin really moved at all, kept his hands down, but the smaller Kaiser just ran into a Mack truck who was in park. And good to see Kaiser hopping up on that play, but that's going to be another call on Piedmont. They're going to call it a cross-checking. I guess we'll watch the replay later and see if it is. But Hanflin going to get called for hitting too hard.
Yeah, I don't know if Hanflin even retaliated at all. Maybe that cheeky little play, Hanflin didn't like to see it. Either way, it was pretty soft. Hanflin will go out for that penalty. It's a 1-minute cross-check is what they called it.
Yep. All right, so 1 minute for the Hawks, trying to work this man-up opportunity and get something so they can go home today a little bit happy. But you know what? I think the dampness kind of affected it there, and that's going to be Nazir Elbury having a step on Jones. And a smart play there by Elbury to take it out and give it to Avery Jenks.
Yeah, the Hawks are currently 0-8. If they can't, I guess, win this possession, they'll then turn it to 0-9. But if you're the Lions, you're not going to give it back to them.
No. Unless they go and try and double up, which, I mean, they could, but it looks like they're content to just let Piedmont have the rest of this 1 minute penalty. And because there's so much time and nothing going on, we're going to have Johnny Matrona actually entering the game for Zach Gelada. So Gelada's day is done. His save percentage will definitely increase past the 600 save percentage, which you're looking for as a goalie is kind of your watermark. You want to be above the 6s to note that you are a solid goaltender, which Gelada is.
Yeah, he's sitting at 7.75 today. Only took 4 shots, allowed 1, had 3 saves. Really a slow day in the back, minus his interceptions. He did have a couple of big interceptions as Ian Parr rattles that one off the crossbar.
That was a sick move by Ian Parr, the little fake pass, and it was able to go right down Alabama Street. And now the pass just a little bit behind there for Roberts. So Piedmont's going to get possession. A full 80 left to go on the shot clock. And Jared Brock's going to take it out to Goff and on over to Waters. 1A line going to take it off the left-hand side with Waters. Going to give it up to Parr. Parr's going to have a shot, and that just goes a little high. Looks like he just sailed a bit on him.
Yeah, and also I stand corrected. He had 4 saves. So at .800. That helps him out a little more.
There you go. And Goff strikes iron. That's twice on this possession alone. Avery Jenks trying to battle with Jones there up on the side.
Mike Jones on that far side. He is gassed. You can tell. Him just chasing after the ball. He is gassed. Put in a ton of work in the back.
They've been on defense for a lot of the game.
Avery Jenks going to get called just like his older brother did in that first half for probably a conduct. Probably said something.
Yep.
As well as he's going to go to that center half.
In the box there. You go to the box, you sit for 1 minute, then you feel shame, but then you get free. Little slap shot reference out there. All right, so the misconduct penalty, get a 1 minute unreleasable call on Avery Jenks, having a little talking to by Tim Dunton.
Yeah, actually, that's going to be a 30-second.
Oh, it's 30, okay.
It was only his first.
Gotcha, okay.
Turns into a 1 minute after the second conduct.
You go. All right, so Huntingdon on the man up yet again. This is their 10th such opportunity, and they're going to have Bruggeman up top. Going to interchange with Foster. Let's see if Huntingdon can at least get a shot on one of these, and it looks like Bruggeman's going to try, but a nice job sliding out there by Zach Schramm. Once again, knows how far out they are, and that's a save by Johnny Matrona on a shot from about 30 feet. That's just a little too far out for Huntingdon to be operating their man up. I know Piedmont's doing a good job of sliding out to them and forcing their man up to kind of start from deeper depths, but if they can, they got to take that space available so they're not shooting from way down the other end of the offensive zone. Anyways, Piedmont will kill off yet their 10th man-up opportunity. Man down disadvantage.
Yeah, 7.5 minutes. It's half a quarter of man-up opportunity for the Hawks, and they've been able to not even turn this into anything. This one's going to be rifled all the way up towards Purcell. If you know Piedmont College, it almost hit a vehicle up there.
That is probably a whole nother half of a lacrosse field away that ball ended up bouncing. And that wasn't off the post. It was just off the shoulder of Stephen Dan. Avery Jenks really rearing back and hitting the nitro button on that shot. All right, ball's going to be on over to Rogers. And on down to Jacob Walker, who's going to dodge. He goes to the left of Campion. Nice slide there. And the ball's over to Mikey Anderson, who bounces just wide. All right, ball's going to come in with Brady Maguire here on the end line. He's going to go behind the cage. He's going to look all the way up there to Rogers. But when he came down, it looked like he stepped in the crease and had a little bit of trouble with that, did he, last time, Brady Maguire, in that last LaGrange game. And gets a toe in the crease there once he landed after that pass.
Yeah, complete change on this defensive end for the Lions. We have Gretzka, Gooch, and Vikos now defending for the Lions.
All right. So the day for the top line of Graham, Zach Schramm, and Ben Hamflin going to be done. And like he said, Andy Gooch, Jason Grexa, I'm sorry. And Carson Vico is going to be the back end for the Lions with Matrona in the net. And that's a nice check there by Jacob Walker on the hands there of Campion. And that is going to be picked up by Grexa. Grexa going to roll back and look all the way across to Vikos. And Vico's going to go to Matrona. A nice job there by this first possession for the Lions defense.
It's Cam Mcdonald with the ball now.
And Cam Mcdonald bringing it up to the middle, and it's going to give it off to Hampel. Just a little bit wide of him. Hampel was zigging.
Yeah, a little
McDonald was passing to the zagging. That's all right. First time in the game there for McDonald. Not quite battle-tested as of yet in this contest. He'll get a couple more opportunities as 7 minutes left to go in the quarter here. And Campion's going to bring it all the way up into the forefield. It's going to go all the way over to number 11, Brady Moulton. Moulton going to do a little switch with Bruggeman. And Cam McDonald going to be defending Moulton on this, and Moulton's going to look to dodge from the X. McDonald, good job to push him outside there to Bruggeman. He's going to find Box in the middle, and a shot and a goal right through the wickets of Johnny Matrona. Nice passing play there by the Hawks. Bruggeman with the assist over on to Bach, and it is 13-2 with 6:21 left to go in the fourth.
Yeah, that cut across the middle of the net. None of the defenders picked up that Hawk as he was wide open, about 5-6 feet, you could say, from that goal, able to just shoot it. Not much you can do if you were the keeper there. Kip again in this center circle. As Panadvackers had his fair share of wins today, Kip's going to get his
third opportunity here. Kip is 1-1 on draws and is looking to kick it to himself, and he will get that ground ball. And a nice job there for Jacob Kip to win his second of the game. Gets it over to Austin Vaughn. Vaughn came down and instead deferred over to Brady Maguire. And Maguire behind to Parr. Back to Maguire, playing a little give and go, pitch and catch. And now Parr will go to the middle and give it over to Hampel. Hampel with only 3 lines on the field wants to have a shot. And that goes just wide. So Brady Maguire, 59 left to go on the shot clock. Going to bring it up to Josh Fraley. And Fraley's going to swing it all the way up to Zach Jones in the game now for the first time. Jones going to give it over to Goff. Couple seniors playing catch here and just gives it a little bit too outside of Ian Parr's range, but a nice job by the freshman to chase it down ahead of Jones. And Parr's got a step now. He finds it all the way out to Goff. Risky pass, but it connects, and another risky pass between Goff and Parr, and that one unable to find the stick of Parr. And now Stephen Dan will take possession for the Hawks. Roberts on over to Dan, who gives it back to Roberts. And Roberts going to bring the ball all the way up past midfield and is going to give it off to Sloan. Sloan down to Brugman, who has a goal today and an assist. He's going to give it to Campion. He takes a little bit of real estate, but then is going to wait for the man to come off, and that's going to be Gordon. And Moulton's going to take the ball down to the right side, pressured by Cam Mcdonald. Brady Moulton coming around the cage. Giving it over to Brugman. Brugman wanting to shoot, but a nice job there by Grexa closing the ground. Now the ball's in the middle to Campion. A shot and a goal! Huntingdon may not be able to get back into this game, but they've done a nice job here in the fourth, as they've now cut the deficit down to 10 with 4:43 left to go in the game. That is Gordon's first of the contest. So with Piedmont seemingly being able to wrap this up, this will be the number 1 seed going into the USA South tournament, as Piedmont will get the 1. They'll wait to see if they play either LaGrange or Brevard, depending on the games between both of them, as both are without a win so far in the USA South. And Huntingdon will most likely wrap up the 2 seed with just 1 win over LaGrange or Brevard in their last 2 contests. And a nice save there. That was by Des Stallings to bring it out of bounds. Gives it to Ellerby. Ellerby in the middle to Handful. Off to Parr. Over to Brady Maguire. Holy heck! Tic-tac-toe is an understatement. Look at Piedmont passing the rock there. Brady Maguire, I couldn't say who he's passed it to because everybody gave him a pass, but the last one was Ian Parr with the assist over to the other freshman, Brady Maguire. And wow! That 14th goal was a dandy there from the Lions as they go up once again by 11.
Yeah, you know, I'm a soccer man. That's a little tiki-taka is what we'd call it in soccer. Just that many quick passes in the third, in the attacking third is what we would call it. There's nothing you can do as a defense, even on the break, because it was right away. And such a quick response.
And there's another win by Kip. Kip 3-1 in the circle so far, so he's doing a nice job. As the ball is going to come down to Hampel, and Nazir Ellerby helping him out there. Down to Parr, the man with the assist on that last goal by Brady Maguire, as he's going to dipsy-do past Roberts and is going to give it over to Maguire. Maguire on up, all the way up top here to Rogers, I'm sorry. And Rogers going to give it over to Krakowski. Chase Krakowski going left on Sloan. Makes him roll back, gives it to Parr. Parr over to Rogers. Rogers down behind the cage. Oh, a nice job by Dan to read where that pass is going backdoor to Hampel. Rogers, a nice job to find Dylan Hampel back there, but unable to score because Dan anticipated that play. Now Sloan looking up and finds Brueggemann. Carefully doesn't go over the end line. He does a good job to get by Grexa there. And Grexa with a nice check around the body of Brueggemann, and then Johnny Matrona coming up to clean up the garbage. A little bit of check to head there by Foster on Rogers, but not much enough to call, as he gets it all the way up ahead to Mcdonald. And Cam Mcdonald going to take it in and give it to Handful. Nice defensive possession there by Grexa. Brueggemann had him beat, but a nice job on that trail check there as he swung the stick all the way around the body, made sure not to hit any part of the chest or admin, otherwise you get called, and then able to be picked up by Matrona. That ball is going to come over to Zach Jones. Senior midfielder is going to bring it out to Goff and back up now to Jets JD Kutcha. Over to Jones and down to Fraley, but no, instead he goes back to Kutcha. Kutcha with 2:38 left to go in the game, 35 on the shot clock. Going to roll back and find Goff. Chase Goff to Zach Jones. Jones going to go right, but Foster does not let him. Instead finds Fraley in the middle. A risky pass, but a nice one, and it was connected, but Fraley unable to turn, and it was a good job there by Roberts, and I believe it was, excuse me, the notes went a little bit everywhere. That was Young able to forward him back doing that. Now Goff going to come off to the right. Goff going to give it over to Fraley. Fraley going to have a shot, and he scores! Josh Fraley with his first goal of the game puts Piedmont up 15-3 with 2 minutes left to go here in Demarest.
Yeah, they're going to assist that to Chase Goff as well. That's his third assist of the contest, a hat trick of assist for Chase Goff.
Call it a playmaker there. Chase Goff and Brady Jenks, like I say, closing in on... once again, I can't read my... Steve Blanchard have 112 points on his career. Both Chase Goff started today with 102, Avery Jenks with 101. Both of them have definitely closing in on that top 5 of all-time points scored, and that's going to help in that regard. Now Kip going to give it over to Hampel. Instead of shooting, he pulls it out. Nice job by Roberts to close on him. Kip 4-1 in the circle today. Not quite Pannenbacker's number, but Goff doing well in his, or I'm sorry, Kip doing well in his own right.
Yeah, as you mentioned that, Jenks not able to get the necessary points he needed, but he did get 6 today. To make it closer, you can almost guarantee it will come in the next contest.
And that ball's going to come to Aiden Duca, and he shoots and scores! Aiden Duca with a nice swim move. I'm sorry, that's Robert Dorian coming in. And Dorian, the sophomore, have a beautiful goal. As he swam a couple times, put his hands up like, huh, that's easy. Deposits past Stephen Dan. 16-3. And while this game didn't feel like, Nick, like we said in the first half, it didn't feel like it was going to be a blowout as Huntingdon came with not their A game, but definitely a lot better than they did in the game 2.5 weeks ago. Here we are again, 16-3 in the score. It's another blowout. Piedmont looking like they don't have a formidable adversary on this side of the bracket. And Huntington's going to come up to the ball. Gladden's going to win there, and he runs right over Graves. But you know what? Loses the ball in the process and is picked up now by Matrona. Gives it all the way across the field to Kip, who's still on the field. And Jacob Kip going to give it over to Mcdonald. 1 minute left to go in the game here as Piedmont leads 16-3. Shot clock will be irrelevant. Ball's going to come all the way around to Hampel. It's going to look Fraley's way, but instead interchanges with the big man. Fraley going to give it over to Dorian. And Robert Dorian finding Walker Brown there, who gives it over to Fraley. 30 seconds left to go in the game. It looks like they may just be content to run this out and not run the score up any more than it has to, with this being the last possession of the game. And that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, Mario, to wrap this game up, you know, Huntingdon didn't look bad. This will most likely, like you mentioned, be the West Division Championship.
Mm-hmm. So very important this year. You can't get to the tournament unless you win your conference. So all the out-of-conference schedules are wiped out. Piedmont 4-0 now in the USA South wraps up the first seed as they defeat the Huntingdon Hawks for the second time in 3 weeks by a final score of 16-3 here on the campus of Piedmont College at Demarest, Georgia. All right, so the next game for Piedmont, it will be a USA South competition, although it will not matter too much. They'd have to lose both games, and Huntingdon would essentially have to win both, have a bunch of differentials they go by, do goal differentials here, but by head-to-head measure, if that is the first tiebreaker, Piedmont will have wrapped it up. So these next two games against LaGrange and Brevard, essentially going to be washes, but it'll be good for Piedmont to try and ride high into the postseason play, as they will have to, like I said, probably play these Huntingdon Hawks in the playoffs. After that, it's on to either Greensboro, or Pfeiffer, whatever the two is going to come out of there. That's looking like that's the two teams that are going to come off the east side. But we'll see kind of as the season goes on. But this wet and rainy and kind of a dreary-looking day turns out sunny for the Lions, as, like I said, 16-3 winners over the Huntingdon Hawks. And once again, I am Mario D'Alessandro signing off with Nick Pope here on the Main Event Broadcasting Network. We'll see you next time.